Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Now, before you all yell at me in the comments, I know we didn't get an episode out this week, but there was good reason. When we were trying to edit it or, get it going, the file kept corrupting for some reason, so we're gonna miss this week, but it's starting up this Friday. We got the video ready to go. It'll all be good, I promise. But what we're doing to fill some of the time is some character creation for Naruto 5e. Now, in the book, if you already have access to that, if not, there's a link in the description. You can find it. You can go to my Discord. We'll help you out too. But if you're like me, you're reading through the book and going through it, it is kind of rough and it doesn't really help me out a ton. It's hard to go through all the jumble and all the words sometimes, and just having someone to explain it is nice. So here we are. All right, now before we get into it real quick, if you could please make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you like the content here. We're planning on starting to do a lot more weekly besides just the Naruto 5e stuff, spicing it up, adding in some more things. So if you want to see that, if you like it, please hit that sub button. It helps a ton, helps me out, helps the channel out. Anyways, we'll get into it before I bore you. So what you're looking at here is the Naruto 5e wiki. It is so helpful. It's so nice. Like I said, if you're like me, going through the book is a bit of a pain sometimes. This makes it so easy for you. Now, to be clear, not everything is here, so you're still probably going to have to go to the book every now and then, but this gives you a great baseline and just makes it so much easier. So, to start off, first thing you're going to want to do is pick a clan. Now, this is completely up to you, and to be honest, when I was first getting into this, I was struggling very much so with picking what I want to do. I'm going to specify right now, I think all of these are fun, or at least can be if you're putting in the effort into them. Some of them might sound boring to you, and some of them might sound cooler than others. Okay, then go for those ones that you think are really fun. But I'm here to tell you that if you're worried about wanting one over the other one, just pick the one you want. Okay? Even if it might look a little complicated now, they all start off simple. Okay? Pick what you want, go with it, write it out from there. But that's what you're going to do first. Go through, pick the clan you like. Now, if you're like me and it was an 8-hour process to pick your clan, well, that's okay. Now you get to pick your background. More choices, I know. But the background, this is a little less important than the other ones, to be honest, because when it comes to the starting equipment and things like that, they give you a lot of the same. In all honesty, not much really changes there. But you can pick between any of these. A lot of what your background is for is it's really for shaping your character. So especially if you're really big into the roleplay side of Dungeons & Dragons and you're really big into the storytelling and the really fleshing out your character, this will be a part to really focus on. And as a side note, if you are someone who's really worried about more so your character development and making a fun, enticing character, then worry less about the stats that this gives you and the equipment that it gives you, and just go for what's going to work with your story. A lot of the equipment and stuff you get is just starter stuff anyway, and it's going to be gone by the time you're done with it, so don't worry too much about that. Go with what's going to fit your character, whatever your character idea or dream is, and run it that way. I promise you it'll be so much better in the long term. Alright, now for what is probably the single most defining thing for your character as to combat and things of that nature, that's going to be the classes and what class you want to pick. Now, if you've gotten this far, I'm sure you already have a decent idea in your head of what you want your character to be and kind of what you want them to focus into. And if you do, perfect. Go for the class that fits your style. If you're not really sure, then you can go one of two ways about it. Either one, think about in combat what you want to do. So if you want to be more the guy that goes in stealthy, assassin type style, then you're probably going to want to go Hunter Nin, right? But if combat-wise you want to sit in the back and heal your allies and do that kind of stuff, then Medical Nin's going to be more your speed. Now, the other side of it you can think about this is not necessarily just style, but you can still fill this into what you want your character to be. For example, I wanted my character to be a very agile Inuzuka clan member that was a little assassin-y, but that wasn't the most important part. In my head, I just wanted him to be an agile fighter, very proud of himself, not very big and bulky, but that was his style. And Hunter Nin fit that perfectly, right? So in my case, I kind of got lucky where my character and my class lined up really well, but yours might not. And honestly, that's okay. It would be really funny to have a giant, big, beefy dude walking around that heals everyone. Like he's just a straight up pacifist and just doesn't hit anybody, right? Like that'd be hilarious. So don't always worry exactly with lining stuff up. You can make anything work in this game. And that's really the beauty of it, is being able to do things like that. But nonetheless, this is your next step, picking your class, gives you your descriptions, stuff like that. Go with your gut, do what you want to do on that. Now this section right here, I am actually going to jump to the book for, because this isn't something that's really on the wiki, but that's because it's going to change from campaign to campaign, and it really depends. And that's your ability scores. So if you've played Dungeons & Dragons before, you know what this is, right? It's those 6 large numbers that determine what you're good at, right? So your strength, your dexterity, your constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. All of these things are going to basically affect the personality of your character, you know, kind of what they're good at, what they're not good at, and then also just help determine what you're going to be able to do and not be able to do in the world that you're in. Now, when doing this, it's going to depend on your DM as to what they want to do. For ours, Hudson, amazing DM, by the way, he just did believe he called it a block, or I don't remember exactly what it was called, but we basically got a set amount of numbers. I believe it was actually up here. It might have been standard array. Yeah, it was this guy right here. We got the standard array of numbers, and we got to place them where we felt was fit. So we put them into our different things that we were like, oh, I don't need this, I want this, I don't want this, I need this, right? That's what we did. But you can also roll for them, as it talks about right here. So a lot of different ways to get your stats and numbers for your ability scores. Again, it's going to be up to your DM. And that's that. Now, the next part that it talks about, and I'm going to just go ahead and stick here because it goes right into it, describing your character. This part is important for story aspects, for combat and stuff, and like your skills. This is not necessarily important. This is purely where you come from. Maybe it's why your person thinks the way they do, why they have their feelings towards certain things. For example, in our campaign, Arata, who is my character, is very, very family driven and very towards his clan, right? And so that's kind of his whole background, is he grew up wanting to be the head of Inuzuka and really push his clan to the top. That's what drives him every day. But when I get into a fight, that doesn't exactly affect how I hit things, right? So that's more the aspect of you want to feel out and decide, how do I want my character to behave in this world? And that's going to be describing your character. Now, heading right back into the website for our very last portion, that's jutsus, your superpowers, your cool big booms that you get to do, right? That's going to be right here. Another thing the website's great for. Now, for the jutsu, it's really going to depend as to what your character can't do, is good at, is not good at. And you'll also have a different amount depending on your person. So as a hunter, I don't have very much jutsu. I believe in the beginning I was only allowed to know 6, whereas Greed, or as you know him, Izuto, he got to know, I believe, 7 off the bat and gets one like every single level, and I only get one every 2 levels. So it's going to depend on your character or your class. You're going to have to look through. But this is where you'll find all that information. Now, this will help you out here because it automatically links you to the different types, whether you're looking for different elemental releases. Again, goes back to your character. You're going to know what you are and aren't allowed to have. Or your different types, right? So your genjutsu, your taijutsu, things of that nature. The basically only real important thing to remember is that you can't have anything too high of rank. So let's go to our non-elemental jutsu here. At these levels, or at least at my level that I am now, I can't even do C rank. I'm allowed E and D. I believe I actually get C rank at the next level is when I unlock that. And then B, A, S. So when it comes to looking at jutsus and stuff, and this kind of also ties back to your clans, because your clans will have specific jutsus they can learn that other clans can't. Don't concern yourself too much with the S-rank jutsus. And I wish I would have known this earlier and I would have kind of understood this a little better, because it's fun. I get it. It's really cool to look at the S-rank jutsus like Reaper Death Seal and be like, oh, that'd be so sick. I can at some point summon the Reaper Death Seal and he'll do this cool thing. you're not going to do that for a long time. Okay, I mean, I guess, it depends on your campaign, depends on where your DM is starting you out. Maybe you're starting out a little stronger, so it won't be as long. But if your campaign is similar to ours, you're starting as a Chunin. You're starting really, really low on the ladder. And it's going to be a while till you get to these high ranks. What I would really focus on heavily is finding these lower ranks, maybe C and lower, that you really love. And being like, hey, this is what I want to use. This is what I want to go after. This can also be decided partially off of your character's style, right? If your character is a very aggressive fire style guy who just, wants to kill everything, then you might have a ton of fireball, fire style jutsus. That's just how it is. But this is where you'll find those jutsus. You'll mark all the ones that you want, all that good stuff, and go from there. And boom, just like that, you have yourself a Naruto 5e character ready to go. Now, as for leveling and, getting it all together, all that good stuff, talk to your DM about it. It's going to depend. Some people do the whole XP thing where you kill things, get a certain amount of XP, you level up when you hit that XP threshold. What our DM does, which to be honest I actually really, really like, is he just does it on certain parts of the story. So he knows in his head, okay, I want them to be this strong here. Or I think they've done enough to earn the next level. Or, you killed this boss, okay, well obviously you'll earn this next level. One, it's nice because we don't have to keep track of XP, which is just an extra number that you can disregard and forget about. But two, it keeps you very balanced and in line with where the story's at. Now, obviously the DM's going to help control that variance and not let you get too far ahead or too far behind either way. But it's just nice. So if your DM's not sure how they want to handle leveling, or you're not sure and you just haven't done it before, I really like the way that our DM has gone about it, where it's a very merit-based system of, hey, you accomplish this thing or hit this point in the story, you now get this level. It also just helps pace it really well, and you don't just awkwardly gain a level in the middle of something or, anything along those lines. But hey, nonetheless, that's it. You've got your character, you're ready to go, you're ready to get your campaign moving. I made this video because I saw a lot of you talking about in the comments how y'all were planning on starting your own, or you really wanted to start your own, or this inspired you or something like that. And I thought, hey, why not make a video that's really helpful? So, one thing I'm going to ask of you. One, if you like this content and you like this style of stuff, comment down below, let me know you like it. Because the more interactions I get, the more I know y'all enjoy these kinds of things. Two, like I said before, we want to start adding more new, fresh content to this channel. So please comment down below what you want to see. Maybe you want to see me flesh out our characters and kind of give like a background video on each of them and let us talk about them. Maybe you want to see us do other things. We've considered going into some board game stuff. Maybe having some board game, playthroughs of just having a good time with me and Greed and some of the gang. It's all up to y'all. If y'all have an idea of what you want to see, let me know. I'll see if I can make it work. I try to respond to, everything I can. And hey, besides that, thanks for watching this. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out.